What's up, y'all? What is up? It's your girl EJ, and welcome back to the recap, y'all. Now, today we are going to be talking about The Shy. These are my quick thoughts. Please remember that we go live to talk about The Shy on Monday at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. My girl Muchella's reviews, Tamika Zen, and myself will be discussing this episode in full, y'all. So definitely come hang out with us. Now, y'all, on this particular episode, this was the mid-season finale, y'all, and it was actually a really dope episode. This was a good episode in my opinion. I think it was great. I was definitely very satisfied with it. Some of the things that stood out to me was my boy Kevin. I mean, having to say goodbye to Kevin was so difficult because we've seen him grow up from this little boy, and the way they were going from when they were young to them being older. I mean, it was just pulling at my heartstrings, y'all. Now, to be fair, do y'all think that Kevin is going to leave? Do y'all think that this is it for Kevin? He's going to go out to LA? Or do you think something is going to happen that's going to keep him right here in Chicago? Let me know what y'all think about that. Now, some of the other moments that stood out, kind of staying in the Kevin realm, was this thing with him and Maisha. Like, at first, I wasn't really here for Kevisha, or it really didn't matter to me. But for whatever reason, I kind of like it. I kind of think it's cute. I think it was cute the way they showed us how Maisha used to bully him and then where they are now. I was here for it. All of a sudden, I could do a Kevisha thing. So I like this concept of them falling in love and, him really caring about her. And, everybody seems to like Maisha. So I'm here for it. So I also enjoyed the party scene, y'all. The party scene was a great scene. Let me tell you, like the last two episodes has really had me looking at Nina in a totally different light. Like, no matter what anybody wants to say, like, yes, Nina has her quirks, but she loves those kids at the end of the day. She cares about her children. She's there for her children. And that's what matters. Parents aren't great. Like, parents make mistakes. They are not 100% just the best all the time. They do what they think is best. And in Nina's case, we learn a little bit about her past on the last episode, and we learned how she got to where she's at. But that hug, that embrace, that love that you felt in the, for between her and Kevin when Kevin gave his speech and when they talk at the end, even though we can't hear the conversation, I'm sure they were telling each other how much they loved each other or something like that. But I don't know, that moment right there for me, y'all, like that definitely was on point. Kevin spending time with each set of people that meant something to him in this particular episode was definitely great. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, that whole cameo with the South Side coming to pick up the furniture, I was like, no, Kevin did not get his furniture from the South Side. That's why he done rented his furniture from them, and them coming to pick up the furniture was funny. It was actually a great cameo. If you have not seen the television show, it's another show on Showtime. I can't remember the whole name of it, but it's the South Side. Basically, it kind of follows the rental company and them in their day to day. It's a crazy show. If you haven't checked it out, you have to check it out. It's a comedy. So anyway, I thought that was dope the way they integrated that into this episode. And y'all, let me tell you, I mean, I didn't see Rob getting shot. Like, I really didn't see that coming. Like, I felt like somebody was gonna get hurt, but I don't know if I really, really saw it coming exactly. And I feel like Rob should have had that shot. Like, dang, it just really irritated me that he missed so many times. But that last one, he was about to get him. But it is what it is. But Emmett's driving skills, y'all, like thoroughly surprised me. Now I'm just gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Like, I still don't think that Emmett and Rob should have been the one trying to go do this, but they did what they did what they did. They did what they thought was best. They needed to get rid of him, and they tried, but they just didn't succeed, unfortunately. So I don't know. So another big thing that stood out to me was Alicia, y'all. Alicia is not playing no games. The way she kicks Tiff out of that room, the way she talks to him while he's sitting up there unconscious was crazy. The fact that she tried to poach Zay from Duda, like, Alicia is always thinking a few steps ahead. But if she knew that her son was not about this life, I do not understand why you would send him to go and try to avenge Q's death. Q, who also is a known snitch as well. I just don't understand why we just out here trying to avenge his death. But maybe she don't know nothing about that, and maybe all she cared about was the fact that he was her brother and that somebody had to go. I guess. But anywho, there was that. I wasn't feeling how she was treating Tiff, and when Rob tells Tiff about the situation and what he had to do in order to get this money, Tiff reacted exactly how I thought she would react, and that is that they could have found another way. And that's why I always say that people need to communicate, because had he have communicated with her like, hey, the only way I can get this money is if I do X, Y, and Z, and I am pretty sure she would have been like, we ain't taking this money if that's the case. But once again, no communication, and then people end up in situations. So, it is what it is. And then there was the whole thing with Darnell and Emmett. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was feeling Darnell in this episode. Darnell tried to step up and he tried to do what needed to be done. When Emmett tries to come at him, and I figured Emmett was about to try to pull that you ain't been here type of thing. And the way Darnell shuts it down, I'm like, okay, I see you, Darnell. Like, that was it for me, y'all. Now, Darnell did try to go back and pay Duda, but of course, Duda only wants favors. He doesn't actually want the money. He doesn't really need the money if you think about it. Duda got all this crazy stuff going on. He got money hand over fist. So, what he wants is favors. He wants to collect on favors, and that's how he uses people. He gets people to do what he wants them to do by cashing in. Instead of with money, he just cash in on these favors. So that's what he asked Darnell for. And of course, Darnell is not really trying to hear it, but he don't really have no choices at this point. It is what it is. And going back to this bot shooting, why did Emmett call? Never mind. We just gonna let that go. We gonna talk about that on the live, y'all. So, anywho, y'all, those were a few of the things that stood out to me in this episode. There was a lot going on. The conversation between Kenya and Papa was definitely something that stood out for me. I didn't know how Papa was going to go with this. It feels like Papa is all about trying to be whatever his dad wanted him to be. I don't think that this is the direction that Papa should be going in. I think Papa should be trying to find out who he is. He doesn't need to go in his father's footsteps. Just because you had an argument with him, just because y'all were not on, were in a disagreement when he passed away, that doesn't mean that now anything that you want in life goes out the window and that you're only living to fulfill what you perceive or think that your father wants. Like, I definitely didn't agree with that. I think Papa's on the wrong path when it comes to this. But at the end of the day, it's his path and it's his life and it's decisions that, he has to make. We are seeing Bakari in a very, very bad place. I mean, he's always been in a bad place, in a bad situation, but now we see that he is really reeling from the death of losing someone that was a father figure to him. Lene tries to be there for him, but right now I don't think Bakari is really interested in trying to, get out of where he's at. Now, another big thing that happened was Shad, y'all. Shad is so crazy. As soon as he sent that text, y'all, I knew right then that he sent that text to the wrong person. I was like, he just sent that to Deja. And the fact that Deja was so petty and liked his message after she packed all his stuff, basically tell him to get the hell out, that was so funny, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. That sounded like something I would have done. Just liked the message and kept going. I'm like, dude, why did you even need to text her that? Like, you really didn't even need to text it. And then you actually had to say her name. Like, she should know who you're talking to because you're sending her the text message. You don't need to say her name. But dude is just crazy, y'all. Like, really shot. So anyway, y'all, it was just a lot going on, and we cannot not talk about Gemma, of course, because your girl Gemma was just out here doing what Gemma does. At the end of the day, Gemma dated Kevin, right? Then she decided she wanted to date Jake, and she cheated on Kevin with Jake. So the fact that she was up here kissing on Bakari's sister Brittany just doesn't surprise me at all. Like, it is what it is. This is what Gemma's MO is. And as much as I wanted to try to like the character Gemma, Gemma is just, she just be doing too much for me. Now, it was very interesting when Jake tells her that he's going to take over Kevin's lease, and she goes into the we thing immediately, thinking that this is a place for them. And then she immediately tells him how maybe they shouldn't be, sleeping together anymore. I don't know. Everything about the conversations that Gemma was having this particular episode was just throwing me off. And I was just like, I really don't like this character. If I did have any like for this character, it is completely gone at this point because Jake has grown so much. And I'm really liking who Jake is becoming and the character that we have seen him develop into. And, Gemma just don't deserve him at this point. He just needs to move on. But she took this money from Brittany, and this is going to be an issue. When it's all said and done, this is going to come back to bite her in the ASS. And I'm just going to say what we're all thinking. How the hell did you have $10,000 to give Gemma, but you didn't have nowhere to stay? I'm just saying. Anyway, y'all, priorities. But y'all, that was pretty much a lot of the things that stood out to me in this particular episode. There's still so much to talk about, so we'll definitely talk about it on the live this Monday. So definitely come through, hang out with us. Meanwhile, go ahead and get the conversation started down below. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. What were some of the things that stood out to you? Meanwhile, guys, if you like this video, make sure to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to your girl channel if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications so that you do not miss out on any of my future The Shy Talks. Now, YouTube says that you just might like this video next, so go ahead and take a look. Until next time, guys. Peace.
See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall. I used to beg my homies for a ride across the bridge to goof off and spend the whole damn day doing whatever we want. Keek drove us down to Ike's place while we'd roll up a blunt, and me and Jack would get stoney, walk around and get lost. Don't think I'll ever truly pay back all I was lucky to get just by walking through the city. No, I'm a small part of this.